Hey, Bill, I just finished watching last night's Saturday Night Live with Paul McCartney, and I think it's time for Paul to hang it up for good. I feel like a bit of an asshole for thinking it because we're all supposed to be in awe of him because he's a Beatle. They let him do 4 songs last night because everyone is in awe of him, and that's the problem. No one wants to tell the 68-year-old man with the dyed brown hair and saggy man boobs that he doesn't have the voice for a live performance anymore. I fear getting old and being irrelevant too, but I hope that when it's my time to retire, I can accept that I'm not what I once was and move on to something else that better suits that stage of my life. Paul should look to someone like Bono. Not that I'm a big Bono fan, but I think he's done it right by imitating Bob Geldof's example of rock and roll philanthropy. How about I pat him in the back for getting through that sentence without fucking it up? U2 won't draw stadium-sized crowds forever, so Bono set himself up as a jet-setting friend of the world's poor. Even if he never gave another concert or sung another note, he'll still have meaningful work beyond his music. It's like you were saying in previous podcasts. It's good to have a side business in case show business doesn't work out. Best regards. I kind of see what you're saying a little bit, but I know a lot of people saw Paul McCartney last year on tour and said he was fucking unbelievable. And then I also think that the Beatles right now are a victim of a backlash because of something that they didn't create. I think iTunes. That's right, iTunes. I got real confused there because they had Apple Records, and then Macintosh has a fucking Apple. And that's all it takes to really just send me flying down the fucking sideline like that dreadlocked son of a bitch who got tripped. Anyways, I think iTunes has been trying to get the Beatles catalog, obviously. It's probably the first band you would want to start with as far as if you wanted to make money. They finally got them, and they are from the baby boom generation, Steve Jobs and all those guys. So this is their Jesus. So they present the band as their Jesus, and just eventually, it's just inevitable that it's going to annoy the generations after. And not to mention, because we weren't born when they were putting out albums, it's impossible for us to see how far ahead of their fucking time they were. You know, and that's something I also see in comedy, where I've actually gotten emails from people going, what's the big deal with Richard Pryor? 35 years of people ripping off his shit, they've actually made, some of his stuff, like after 35 years, people finally caught up with them. So the Beatles were so fucking far ahead of everybody. But now it's 40, almost 50 fucking years later. Yeah, now you're going to look back on it, and after everybody's ripped them off, it's going to be like, dude, what the fuck was the big deal? All right? So there's that. And then the last thing is I'm sick of people throwing old people out in the fucking yard. Like they're your old iPod speakers. There's a loose wire. Fuck him. He's out the goddamn door. I think it's bullshit. All right? I like old people. Even that fucking asshole downstairs. I like him. I respect him. And what it is you look at them and you see their dyed hair and you see their saggy man boobs, right? Their wrinkled up tushies, right? So you equate that with their level of intelligence rather than this fucking guy has walked this planet for 65, 75, 85 fucking years. And, what's that expression? As much as things change, they stay the same. Stitch in time saves nine, whatever the fuck. I never remember expressions, whatever. This guy's seen everything that you're about ready to see. He's already seen it, okay? He didn't have a fucking iPod. Who gives a fuck? All right? A cunt is still a cunt. All right? Some things don't fucking change. And this guy has this whole wealth of knowledge. Now, here's a guy who's been playing live gigs for 50-something fucking years. All right? He can still physically play. Why wouldn't you want to go see him? With all his fucking experience, yeah, I mean, I could see if he was jumping off the piano trying to do splits and touch his fucking toes, and then he came down and blew out his knee, and they had to give him fucking a Geritol rub right on his blown out knee, then yeah. You know what I mean? But like, I don't like that whole fucking, it's like a corporate mentality. Your skin's wrinkled up. We don't like looking at you. Beat it. I don't know. I'd still go pay to see the Rolling Stones. I would. Why wouldn't you? Why the fuck wouldn't you? Those guys give me hope that I can sit there and drag my ass out on a fucking stage, 80 years old. Hey, what's up with Medicaid? You know? Out on a cruise ship. But I do understand what you're saying, because I definitely want to, if I'm on stage in my 60s and 70s, 60s is fine, because I'm still going to be fucking annoyed and want to be out there. But in my 70s, if I'm still on fucking stage, I want it to be because not because I need the money, because I want to be out there. All right? I remember Keith Richards saying, like, someone was like, when are you guys going to hang it up? He's like, never. I'm a musician. This is what I do. I will do this in front of 2 people or 200,000. It's what the fuck I do. You want me to put down my guitar? You know, he has a great line in his book where he talks about how much he loves guitar. I don't know if I said this last week. Keith Richards has this book called Life. It's the fucking shit. And he talks about how he loves guitar so much that to this day, like, he opens a guitar case and just the smell of a guitar, he wants to crawl in there and close the lid. All right? So if you ask this guy to stop going out playing live, you might as well put a bullet in his brain. You're killing the man. Okay, so having said that, let Paul McCartney do his fucking thing. Hasn't he been through enough? I mean, that guy truly found the love of his life. All right? She fucking dies. Then he's in a bad place like the fucking Jets strength coach. He goes out, he marries some gold-digging whore with one leg, you know, which was the classic fucking misdirection. Because I bet in the back of his head he kept going, you know, I think she's a fucking gold digger. And then that other place, like, dude, she only has one leg, man. Stop being so mean, right? And then he just gave into that. And there you go.